Welcome to another fabulous episode of NT Sheep's Digital Wonderlands! Okay, and welcome back, my little lambs, for another MechWarrior 5 Clans video. We're going to be doing another mission with what we're calling our Jenner Squad. It's the infiltration mission of Santander, where, when we've played it before, it mentioned jump jets might be a good thing to use. So, since Jenners have jump jets, we're going to see how well jump jets would actually help us. Jenners are also extremely fast, so one of the things that we had to do previously when we first played through this mission was there was a couple of times where we had to sit there and pause and wait for the enemy to pass by us before we could continue on to the next zone. Jenners are so fast that we can make a run between some of these zones before the enemy even comes back around, and that gives us a really good advantage. So let's get up here to the cliff and see what we need to do. We're going to get into position right here, and then we're going to be going into our battle grid map. We're going to make sure you take tactical pause off, that way the game is going. Now, you can see here from our satellite view, we could easily try and jump up into these mountains to get into the base, but our teammates won't follow us if we're flying through the air. We're still going to have to give them a command specifically to move. So really what we're going to try and do here is, as soon as the enemy passes us, we're going to use our speed to zip down there real quick. And then we're going to use battle grid again to sit there and tell our teammates where to go. Then we're going to jump up the side and see how quickly we can get in there to do the scanning. And then we're going to try and make our way to the second base before the enemy comes back around. So let's see how well we can do with these Jenners.
The canyon now. There is a river you can follow towards the first base. We are following.
First munitions depot is just beyond those rocks.
Star Commander, we may be able to get in undetected by jumping up to that ledge. If you have the jump jets, that is an option. But if you stick to the unlit areas, you could potentially go right through the front too. Either way, Star Commander, leverage tactical commands whenever possible to avoid alerting.
Well, our Jenner ran so darn fast, we didn't even need to try using the jump jets to climb up the side of the hill. So we're just going to run up here. We're going to give the movement command to our teammates so that they get up here and stay in spot. And then we're going to see what we can do for getting to the second base. We may be able to fly over the edge of the hill, or we might be able to just run right back up there without a problem. This is usually one of the spots, though, when you're playing this level the first time, where you've got to sit and wait for the enemy to pass. So if we can get to the second base without having to wait for them to pass, whether we jump or run there, that makes these Jenners pretty darn good for these kind of missions.
Barely remember food that did not come in a can.
If we have to tag fresh fruit for destruction too, it's gonna break my heart. There's a back way into this one too.
Okay, so scanning the first base went pretty darn quick, and we're able to start running over to second base immediately. Normally, we would have had to kind of sit at first base and wait for the enemy to pass us again, but we're moving so fast, we can go ahead and give everybody a command to get up into here to hide, and then we're going to use our jump jets to climb up the side of the hill. One thing we need to be careful of is, remember, there's fences up there that are security fences, and if we run into one of them, that's going to alert the enemy. So this right here was a good spot. We managed to make it up here without hitting the fence, so there's our first area to scan. Our second area to scan is right there, and then we got to get over here to this other one, and by the time we get to it, we should be able to see our teammates running up. Okay, so there's everybody running up. We're going to come up here and hide, and we're going to see what we need to do. We should be able to just have to sit here and wait. You can see the enemy over there coming. We're just going to hide up here, wait for them to pass by. And then we're going to run down to the 3rd and 4th base, and hopefully we should get them without a problem. Usually by the time you get past this 2nd base, you don't have to worry about the enemy patrol. You can get to 3rd base and then get to 4th base, even if you're running with slower mechs. So let's go ahead and see how well we can do all this.
Performing on you, Star Commander.
Okay, so the enemy is running past us. All we got to do is run down here, get over to 3rd and 4th base, and get the scanning done there. And then we got to just go and get to the extraction zone area. And then if you've watched my videos before, you know this is where we're going to have one of our first mini-boss battles with a giant VTOL. So that's going to be interesting to see how well the Jenners can hold up to it. We're going to sit here and, again, try and see about either running straight up the hill or doing some jumping. I think for 3, we're just going to go ahead and run up it. And then we're going to sit there and try and climb the hill getting into 4 and see how easy that was. Again, these Jenners are so darn fast that climbing the hill may be kind of fun and everything. But, you know, it's just as easy to go ahead and go super speed and just run to the objectives. So, let's see what we need to do here and see how well we can get through scanning here. There's a lot of area to cover here, so we may go ahead and try jumping the security gate and see what happens. You know, as long as we're flying over it, I think we should be okay. So, let's do a quick little run here and try and get into position. Make sure you hit the brakes when you land. Alright, so we managed to make it through. We didn't set off the security alarm, so now we just gotta get up into range of this one and get it scanned. So we're gonna try and make our way through here without doing too much damage. You would think the noise and everything would let them know we're here, but surprisingly it doesn't. So now that we've managed to clear this area, we're gonna run over here, jump over this fence, and then we're going to sit there and get ourselves into a good position to where we can jump across this chasm and these cliffs and try and land in the 4th base. There's a couple of good spots that looks like they may be good for launching. This spot right here. So you probably want to try and run full speed to it. We're going to go ahead and command our teammates to go ahead and run. Let's see if we can get it going. Almost made it. Okay, so let's go ahead and try climbing up this section here. There's a couple little cliffs, so we're just going to go ahead and finish trying to jump our way up. Again, you know, jumping is fun. It's cool. If you're a master jump jetter, then you can definitely sit there and probably go through this without a problem. But the Jenner's speed makes them really great for just running through. And the amount of time we're taking trying to climb the side, we could have easily just ran up. But this has been pretty fun so far, and I'm really liking the Jenner squad. I think the only area we're probably going to have a problem is going to be this final boss fight. The enemy mechs that they throw at us, we should be able to handle pretty well, but that VTOL packs one heck of a punch. And, you know, it did a good number on us and our basic mechs the first time around. So, we've already got the scan here for 4th base, so we really don't have to wait for all the talking to be done between our commander and everything. So we're just going to run over here and get in position and wait.
Base, you getting any of this? Requesting permission to move these prisoners to a safer location.
Neg, attempting retrieval now will only put their lives in danger. Move to the marked...
We cannot just leave them.
Do not interrupt me, MechWarrior. Once Hawk 1 initiates their attack run, Valisic's men will be looking...
Okay, we're here at the extraction zone. We haven't really fired any of our weapons, so we don't need to loot that ammo crate just yet. We're going to wait until we've battled off all the enemy mechs that come, and then when the VTOL boss comes in, then we'll scan the crate to do a quick reload for any of our generators that are using missile ammo, which is just about all the others except for me. We should be able to make our way through here pretty easily, I think. So we're just going to go ahead. We'll skip past this. You know, if you've seen the video before when we first did this level, you know what they do. So let's see how well our generators take out the little scout mechs and everything that they're going to send up the hill towards us.
I will put these Desgro pirates in the ground for what they have done.
Good. Use that anger. Keep yourself focused.
New hostile detected.
Engaging your target.
Spider. Target.
Okay, so that was pretty good. Our teammates took out that other enemy mech pretty darn quick. I don't even think we had a chance to get our narc beacon on them. So we're just going to keep moving around here. You know, we've got to hold the area. Here's another enemy. We're getting our narc beacon. They're getting taken down. So we're doing pretty good so far. Everybody's handling their generators pretty well. So we just got to sit here and wait for the enemy. We can try and fly up. That didn't get anybody to pop up on radar. The one thing I would worry about flying is if we end up going out of the zone. So we've got enough enemies now, so there's 2 enemies coming up. They took down that locust pretty good, and we managed to get good damage on this other generator from the enemy. We took them out. Okay, so let's see. I think that was the 4 enemies that we were avoiding, which means now we should only be waiting on that enemy mini boss to come in. So let's start looking towards the horizon and see. Oh, nope. Here's another little locust down here. Okay, we're going to get this guy taken care of. And there's another enemy mech coming up the side. Locust is down. A little commando. Our squad mates are rushing in and taking them out down pretty good. Okay, so now let's see. Now may be the time for the mini boss. So as soon as we see his little enemy icon pop up in the sky, we're going to start scanning that ammo crate, and then we're going to go into battle. So let's see what comes our way.
Scan mode engaged. Scanning complete. Scan mode disengaged. Target locked. Anomaly detected.
Okay, so far so good it looks like. We managed to get a narc beacon on his main body, but remember, you want to target the rotors, because if you take those out, he goes down. Liam seems to be the one he's targeting the most, so we're going to have to worry about Liam, it looks like. But as long as we're getting good hits and everything, get our narcs on, we should be okay. And poor Liam, he went down. But so did the enemy boss. So these generators held out really well for this level. So I'm really liking this squad setup so far. How far can we take it? The game's going to be getting tougher as we keep going on. We're going to be facing bigger and bigger enemy mechs. But he was knocked all the way down to 0, but emergency field repairs brought him up to 52, so that's pretty good. We're going to go ahead and get all the components we can. We've still got too many mech components, so we're going to clear those out and then max out equipment and weapons and then take what's left of mech. You can see up at facilities, we got some chassis milestones unlocked. So let's see what we got. For the Jenner, we got 15 of 15 light mech kills. We've used it 10 times, which makes sense because we've done 2 missions with 5 Jenners each. So, at the end of the last video, I went ahead and ran in here and spent all the points. So we got torso angle and movement speed taken care of. Now we've got movement speed completely done. So now we're going to use our points to increase top speed. Make these things super fast. And there is an achievement in the game that is for speed, that if you get a mech up to a certain top speed, you'll unlock that achievement. That should be easy to do with these Jenners. So we've gotten all that taken care of. Let's go to research. All the active research that we had going is done. So now we're going to come in here and see what sort of things that we can unlock. We can do some flamer upgrades and laser. I don't know if that's going to help the Jenners at the moment. Let's check out what we've got in missiles. Okay, there's some good missile things we can unlock. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple of missile unlocks. And let's see. Can't do anything in the ballistic section, so we're going to go to our mech section. We're using Jenners with jump jets, so we want to upgrade our jump jets as much as possible. So that takes care of that. You can see now that we're back in the main mech bay, his Jenner has been completely repaired. So it got knocked down, but it got rebuilt real darn quick. So that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time in the Digital Wonderlands.